Hello and welcome back to Cabin Organic. Today we want to share with you our front yard garden project where we took a typical front yard full of lots of boring grass and turned it into a few gardens that produce fruit and vegetables and flowers. Here's a before shot of the cabin and everything looks quite nice and tidy, but as you can see the front yard is really just a sea of grass. And there was this hot tub sunk in the ground, which was a bit of an eyesore. We worked really hard all that spring and summer, and this is the final project at the end of the summer. The project officially kicked off with Grandpa arriving with a bunch of very large stones. Then we tackled the hot tub. We emptied it out of water and mud, and then Brian came and pulled it out of the ground and hauled it away. Our little boy Chayton, who was 3 years old at the time, was a big help in every stage of this project. And here's Brian picking up the tub and putting it in the backhoe, and as you can see, we are now left with this giant hole in the earth. Brian found this new pond insert on Kijiji, so we placed it where we wanted it, and then we had to set this project aside while we tackled moving the raised beds. On the other side of the front yard, we had this large area of grass, so we cut in a very large circle, lifted the sod, and hauled it away. As you can see here, Chayton loved playing on the piles of sod. We took many loads of sod to the back with our quad and trailer. We threw the sod into our chicken yard, and the chickens went crazy, just tearing up the clumps of sod, looking for insects and eating the greens. And once they were done, we just picked up all the root balls and threw them on our compost pile. We had a little extra help from our 8-week-old goat, AJ. And here you can see the circular raised bed garden or medicine wheel garden is already built, and all we had to do was move it from the backyard to the front. Then we moved many wheelbarrows full of topsoil and compost and manure, filled up the boxes and planted them. And as you can see, our little son Chayton was involved with every step of this project. It was already autumn by the time I took this picture, but you can get a bit of an idea here. We've got the circular raised bed garden. We've got a large apple tree to the right, an ornamental plum tree to the left. Behind, against the trellis, is a bunch of raspberry canes. We've got some horseradish growing there, and we had a boatload of vegetables growing in the boxes. And now it was time to turn our attention back to the pond garden. It was clear that there was a little garden planted here previously. We had irises growing, we had some rose bushes, and some lilies poking up from the grass, but every year the grass just choked them out, and this little space really needed some attention. So once again, Brian and I cut out the shape of garden that we wanted. We lifted the sod and moved it away, and then we improved the soil, and then we worked with what was already there. So there were peonies and a rose bush and some columbine, and but then we added a bunch of other stuff as well. Some lamb's ears, some lupin, calendula, a few hostas in the shady areas, some daylily, some juniper in the back area, and some foxglove. And if you keep going around the perennial bed, you'll see there's a collection of sage bushes, and we also put in 5 elderberry shrubs in the yard and gave them lots of space so they can grow large and bush out. It's really hard to see in these pictures just the scale of this project. We're going to take some aerial shots this summer and give you a better look, and I'll give you a more detailed tour in the spring and summer as well. But I want to give you some close-ups of some magical moments in this garden. We have a lot growing here, and at different times of the spring, summer, and fall, something will be blooming or fruiting, and it's just absolutely beautiful, a wonderful place to spend time. So once again, a before shot of our fairly boring lawn of grass, and the after shot of just the gardens that have been put in. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing the transformation of our front yard. I'm looking forward to spring and summer, getting my hands in the dirt, and continuing to shape and nourish this garden. Please subscribe for more videos by Cabin Organic.